The vaccine cannot come quickly enough for Europe's 500 million population. Most EU countries have experienced lockdowns and restrictions on personal freedoms as governments have struggled to limit the spread of the virus. In Italy, fears over economic hardship have led to riots and protests. Our correspondent Giogia Orlandi reports for us from Naples.
Fabrizio Caliendo owns a bar in the historic centre of Naples. He has joined the recent protests that have surged across the city because he says he feels let down by the government. Twice a victim of the mafia group known as Camorra, his career and business have been ruined by their attempts to blackmail him.
Right now, the top priority of Camorra is making business. It's injecting money into the market, either by buying properties or companies. It's not interested in taking to the streets or in organizing demonstrations. I was there the day the most violent ones. I could see friends around me, business owners and families. I don't think that Camorra was behind the protests.
In 1998, Fabrizio's testimony brought about the arrest of 4 Camorra members. After dedicating his life to defend his freedom, he blames the government for the lack of support. He believes the risk of struggling families turning to the Camorra for help is real.
If someone showed up at my door with an interesting offer, I'm not sure I would double-check where the funds came from. Whereas in the past, I took the decision to sell my previous business to a group of young buyers rather than the Camorra that had approached me.
According to many, Naples is a sort of alarm bell for the rest of the country. We saw this with that protest against the restrictions a few days ago. Following that one, demonstrations have spread nationwide. In other words, whatever happens here is replicated across the country.
Lorenzo is part of Il Sud Conta, a network of organizations representing hundreds of workers.
I think what is making people even more desperate now are 2 things: the worsening of the health emergency and the economic uncertainty of the future.
Due to the lack of tourists, most of Naples' businesses are suffering.
The real protest would mean us remaining open, despite restrictions, and so we should stop paying taxes. By doing so, institutions won't have our money.
Local residents that we have been speaking to seem to be more concerned about the spread of COVID rather than the increase in social tensions.
If new restrictions are to be introduced over here without the right financial support for the people, the situation will get much worse.
Naples is not new to social unrest, although the economic crisis is putting Italians' renowned talent for getting along through the hardest test. Giogia Orlandi for Euronews in Naples.